some, right? So Salesforce में उतना ज़्यादा Git लोग इसलिए use नहीं करते. But it will make sense if someone is working in some other technologies like mobile application. For example, we were working in one of our own customer, Modern Algos, where I and Bhaskar used to code, right? And mobile पे कैसा होता है? Code will be stored locally in my machine. If I do some changes, let's suppose मैंने Sunday काम कर दिया, Bhaskar is not working on Sunday, and on the very next day he need to take that update. I cannot go and literally share my code to him, or else I cannot literally put those checkpoints there. That and all we'll discuss in a while. But on a higher level, Git is mainly used for checkpoints. ये मेरा वर्ड है, checkpoint आपको ऑनलाइन नहीं मिलेगा वर्ड, बट देयर कॉल इट एज वर्जन कंट्रोल सिस्टम, जो हम वर्जन कंट्रोल करते हैं. ओके, व्हाई डू वी यूज दैट वर्जन कंट्रोल वर्ड? आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू इन अ व्हाइल. सो व्हाट आई हैव डन हियर शुड बी, I have created one workspace and I hope you can see my screen, right? Screen okay. Stop.
Yes, now I can see.
Okay, cool. Shubhi, you let me know in case if you can't hear us properly, okay? I'm trying to be a bit louder, but we'll see. You let me know.
Sure.
Okay. So what I've done, I have created a blank folder in my system, okay? You may see this look and feel will be a bit different because it is Mac. And here, this is an empty folder I have created only for our discussion on this session, right? And here, okay, and in this, what I have done, I have spawned a new terminal here, right? So I can do this, or I can do terminal like this. Okay, and the very first step is you will have to install Git in your machine. Okay, in Windows, what you will have to do, you go to this GitHub, or else you can just do download. Okay, this and all you guys should note it down. Okay, since my OS is Mac OS, it is showing download for Mac. But if you open the same link in your system, it will open, it will say that download for Windows, right? Whatever OS you have, it will automatically capture that and it will allow you to download that. Okay, so in my machine, it is already installed. Okay, and what I have done is, rather than using separate terminal in separate window and making it difficult for my session, what I've done, I'm just spinning new terminal here in my VS Code itself, right? So now there are few commands that you should know. Before even jumping onto commands level, I wanted you to understand what is Git and how does it work. So very first thing is, Git can be used only in your local system. Okay, Git servers can be installed in your custom domain servers, in the sense, समझो अगर अपना कंपनी का खुद का सर्वर है, and in that this is again for data confidentiality. I don't want to keep my code base in GitHub repository. If you guys see, we have a GitHub repository of our own company. And after this session, what I want from you guys, all of you should have at least one GitHub account, which is created based on your company's account, right? Company's email ID. And then you also need to give me your email IDs, sorry, GitHub username. Okay, I think few of the folks have already done it. Akash, Bhaskar, Kishan, Ajit, myself, all our main guys, we have it. But whosoever is new, like Shiva and you guys will have to create a new GitHub account after this session. Okay, how you will create the GitHub account? Just github.com and create a new account. I have already created my account, that's why it's showing like this, but you will get a sign up button here, right? Link your GitHub account with your company account only, then only I'll be able to do this. And you guys share me your username. Okay, why am I showing this? This is because whatever work you do, always you do it in your local machine. Okay, only for you specific guys who don't know how other tech stack works, this code and all will always maintain locally. But in Salesforce, as and when you make some code changes, you will deploy it to server. Correct? Na? Deploy to production and deploy changes to server, right? Salesforce. So normally what will happen? I will create a simple file now. What will I do? Just carefully observe my command prompt. I'll zoom in. Okay. Some of these commands will not work for you guys, which is ls, clear. In order for these commands to be worked, these are Linux specific commands. You guys should use git bash. Okay, there is something called git bash. In Windows, you will get it, but not in Mac. Okay. After you install Git in your machine, you can search, you click on Windows like this. You will have Windows button. No? There you will get search for git bash. You'll get one more specific terminal specifically created for Git. In that, you can run all of these commands, what I'm showing. Otherwise, Git commands will work in your local command prompt also. You will have to configure environment variable. These are basic steps you guys should be able to do it. If not, let me know. I'll help you guys in that. Okay. So after this, Kishan, आप chair ले लो. Chair ले लो. Okay. So now what will I do? Very first thing to understand what is Git is, we normally work in local space, but there is something called server space also in Git. Okay, client and server architecture. This is, so whatever code I write in my local machine, I will have an option to deploy the same repository. Repository is बस बोलने का word होता है. At the end, it's a simple folder. Okay, that folder we can deploy it into GitHub. This also cloud also. This particular cloud can be global github.com, or we can buy our own internal Altasin का GitHub version. Or else worst case, I don't want to expose my code at all. मैं अपना खुद का CPU बना के उसमें setup कर सकता हूँ GitHub, right? Which will be connected to that server. At the end, somewhere in remote location, we are storing that code base, whatever we have, right? No matter whether it's a React project, no matter it's a Salesforce project, no matter it is your Next.js project, no matter it is your iOS, Android, whatsoever it is, no matter even if it is your movie file. एक मूवी का जो VLC का फाइल होता है ना, वो भी चलेगा. Everything Git can track. Simple file system. Okay, लेकिन कोई वीडियो अगर अपलोड नहीं करता है, for that we have Google Drive and all. Anything that is text based, files में कुछ change होता है, एक लाइन को ऊपर नीचे होता है, that only Git can track. Okay, I hope on a higher level you guys are aware of what is Git by now. If not, please raise a question. Now let us see what we can do here in the system. I can do that. So what will I do now? I'll create a new file. Okay. Very first thing is, let's suppose I'm writing a simple file. Okay. Leave about code and all. I'm writing simple text file. So what will I do? I've opened a new file. Okay. If you see, what I've done is I've created a new file. Okay, and I've written the single line, and my file has 2 lines. The second line is again imaginary. It is not yet there. This is your first line, right? So as of now, I have one folder, one file in my system, and no Git is involved as of now. Okay, I have just created a file via command prompt, terminal we say in Mac. But this same thing you can do it from here also. Either से file बना सकते हो, new file, folder, etc. etc. Or else I can have a number of folders also. Just to keep this session simple, I'm just going ahead with 1 or 2 files max. Okay. Stop me in between if you guys have any doubts, including you, Shubhi. Okay, so what will I do now? I have just written 1 line of code. Okay, now let's suppose this is the same file where myself, Vignesh, and Kishan is working. Okay, I'm making up a use case as well. Okay, now I have created a brand new project of Salesforce. अभी मैं थोड़ा Salesforce का बोलना चालू करूँगा, right? Here I have created a single file, and I want this file to be shared to Vignesh and Kishan because they are also collaborating on this file with me, along with me. I'm using this collaboration word because Git ka ye terminology है collaboration, right? So next, what will I do? Very first thing is I need to tell my system this folder is being used by Git. In the sense, Git should start tracking this folder. Then only we'll be able to track file changes, right? In order to do that, note it down. Very first command I'll execute is git init. So when I did this git init, right, what it did, it created an empty Git folder which is hidden from all the user. Okay, .git is nothing but hidden file. आपकी Windows में आप view hidden करके देख सकते हो. In Mac also we can do that, but not necessary. This is where all the magic happens, like .git. This will take care of your tracking changes, when it was last modified, what is the hash, everything we'll discuss in detail. If not, another succession will discuss. All these things will be tracked under this .git folder. And tomorrow, if you delete this .git folder, it's like again Git is not there. Brand new Git has to be initialized, right? Now, everything has been done only on client side. I don't have corresponding server side repository as of now, right? So there is client and there is server. Server is where my all the files will be located. Client is my actual machine. Okay. So if I'm going very like basic level because there are pressures also. Otherwise, this and all was not necessary. But nonetheless. So this is my server. This is first node. This is Isha's laptop. This is Akash. This is Vignesh and Kishan. And this is my GitHub repository, right? So Kishan created a file and then pushed it to Git repo, which is cloud-based repository, the one which I was telling, we need an account here, right? Second thing is, once Kishan did this, Vignesh also has the permission to Git folder, and Vignesh is cloning that folder now. Now, the same Git repository is being tracked by 2 different guys, 2 different machines, I would say, clients, right? Similarly, Akash is also connecting. and similarly, Dinesh is also connecting. Okay, now the same file can be tracked by Kishan. Same file can be cloned, and Vignesh will make few changes, and Vignesh will deploy it here, and Kishan can pull those changes. Okay, similarly, when it was changed, why it was changed, along with comment, everything can be tracked. And more than that, there is one more important concept called pull request. This and all we'll discuss it later. Okay, there are advanced things like we can use Git for our deployment also in Salesforce. That and also we can discuss later. Okay, but as of now, just to kickstart this thing, this is clear for you, right, Shubhi?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Now this file is there, and the very first thing what I did is I initialized this particular folder into Git, right? So here I am initializing this. From now, if you see, I execute few commands which you can note it down. Otherwise, just listen, hear it out. Later on, I'll share a document with you guys. I have a PPT also prepared. Okay, here what will I do? I'll see what is Git status. Okay, Git status will always tell me what is my current status of this repository. Okay, here if you see, we have no comments yet. In the sense, I have not done anything on my Git yet. I have just initialized that Git repository, and still this 1.txt is not at all tracked. In the sense, I'm making some changes here. Second line, still this particular line is not yet tracked. Okay, see here. Okay, in order for Git to track this particular file, first thing is I need to tell Git that we need to track this particular file. Very simple, right? So what will I do? I'll say Git add 1.txt. I can do this, or let's suppose if I have folders, Git add that folder name / again basic Linux communities. I don't have to explicitly explain, but yes. Or else I can, let's suppose if I want to add all the files, I'll just do git add dot. Okay, this will add everything. Okay, this is a, if you see no message after I clicked on enter, that means it's successfully executed that command, right? So what will I do? Git status. Again, I'm doing git status. Okay, and do that. Okay. Now you see this particular color got changed to green. This and all experience you will see if and only if you use git bash. If you guys use command prompt, black and white दिखता है, पता नहीं चलेगा. Okay, please use git bash. Okay. Next, now if you see, this file is being added for tracking purpose, but I did not stage this particular file yet. In the sense, even if I add third line now, it still looks same to me. Okay, third line. But now if you see, there is some intelligence in my VS code which is saying this third line is new, because after second line I've added third line. Okay, that means when I added this particular content to my Git tracking, which is by executing one of the command git add that file name, or as git add that dot, which means all the files has been started tracking. Since I have only one file, it is tracking only one file as of now, right? It started showing me there is a change after your previous commit. I did not commit it. Okay, now what will I do? After git add, these are like steps. First, you will create a git, initialize git by doing git init, and then you will whatever file structure you have, it will be there as is. You will add those files to git. After that, it will turn green. Then you should commit that, right? So what will I do? Git commit -m. Git commit is command, right? -m is message. Here I want to give initial comment. That means here I'm creating one checkpoint of my file. Okay. It says one file changed, 2 insertions, which is called plus. Plus means I have added 2 new lines, right? And 2 new lines in the sense my cursor is after this, no? That's why. Now what will I do? I'll check git status. It says modified because I give one space. I'll re-execute this git add, git commit. Sorry.
Bhaiya, can you just explain this git commit again?
Yes. Okay, there are 3 different stages to be. Okay, first thing is I had a plain file. Okay, and when I had this plain file, first I told git that please start tracking this file, right? And second thing is, I as a developer or I as a git user, I can tell git when to create those checkpoints, right? Checkpoints in the sense, now if you see that green line got vanished because there is no dirty data in this file. Dirty data in the sense there are no changes in this file, right?
Okay.
So whatever is there in this, I have created a commit there. Okay, that I can see by executing git log.
Okay.
Two different commits. First one is initial commit. This was my message when I was committing actually. If I showcase you what historic commands executed, see this. This was my first command, initial commit, right? Which was done on 16th so and so time. And after that, I made 1 or 2 changes here because of which that green line was coming. Then I re-executed same commits again, same commands again by giving new message, which was second commit.
Second commit.
Here it shows oldest first, sorry, newest first and oldest last. Okay, it's not by ascending was it's not by descending, right? So here now I'm giving git commit. No, I'm just showing you a previous command that I was executing. Now it says 2 commits here, right?
Right.
Now locally what I have done, I have created git, added this particular file for tracking purpose, and then I have committed, which I have created 2 different hashes here. This particular long string what you see here, which is nothing but unique hash. Okay, this will not be repeated. Tomorrow, let's suppose you want to go back to this particular file version, that you can do it. Okay, I'll put a right use case so that you guys will understand.
Okay.
So let's suppose, see this. What will I do? I'll clear this git and create a new example. Okay, for that, whatever I was doing till now, everything is vanished because I deleted .git folder. Now, if I do git status, it says it's not a git repository. Okay, I didn't wanted those commits because you guys will get confused. So I just revoked everything. Now, what will I do? I'll write a simple command called Akash. Okay, first line. Now I'll do git init. Same thing I'm doing. Okay, git status, I'll see what is there here. Then I'll do git add this file, right? Then git commit, I'll do -m initial commit, right? I'll just clear that. Now git is being tracked and this particular file is there. Now let's suppose I want this particular file to be pushed to remote server, which is our internal git. Now the file is here. Okay, I want to push this file to this repository, which is destination folder. For that, what will I do? In our organization itself, so that all of you guys can access this folder for your reference, I'll create a new repository here. Okay, you guys create repository in your own account, not in this account, because you don't have permission also. So here I'll create one folder called git. Okay, this is my repository name, and let me keep it public so that anyone can access this. Not only you guys, anyone in this world can access this if it is public, right? So I'll create this repository. Okay, and then what will I do here? When I created this particular repository, it is giving me 2 different templatized commands, okay, using which I can push whatever changes I have locally here. Okay, so if you just read this, it says create a new repository on the command line. That means it's asking me to create a brand new repository, initialize this. readme is a special file which will have contents which will show on your git repository. इसमें जो भी हम लिखते हैं ये git repository जब जाते हैं ना उधर दिखता है नीचे, right? You can also put bold, is kind of rich text. आप लोग bold वगैरह सब डाल सकते हो. Documentation basically, your repository documentation. Before I jump on next, let me showcase how documentation looks. आप लोगों को समझ में आ रहा है ना? अभी yes बोलोगे तो बाद में क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा. Okay, so if you see, go easy ahead. Yes, I'll show you one Salesforce project only, right? In this Salesforce project, I have this particular README file which I have created. So tomorrow, if let's suppose I want Akash to do some work on this, and what is this folder structure, I can easily give this particular README.md. So Git will automatically read this file and show in this such a manner. Right? So here I have codes and all put in such a manner. Okay. So that's why I'm telling this is a rich text file. If you see this readme.md, this is again behaves as a text file which will have contents like this. Okay, I can edit here also because Git can understand this file. A format jo bhi hai .md, this is understood only by Git. Okay. Now Git is very established company and lot of, not only lot, like 90 or 100% people will use. That's why it is being put as an add-on on all the IDEs that we use, integrated development environment. One amongst that is VS Code, right? So here also things Git will understood by this particular workspace also, VS Code. इसलिए वो green red कर रहा था तभी, right? So now I hope till here all of you clear. Now for me this second option looks good, right? Because I already have a GitHub. This Git is initialized in my local machine, and I have a file to be just deployed into the server. Okay. Only thing is I want to execute this command so that I'll connect my local machine to remote server. which means if I go back to our paint, my 1.txt is there in this particular system. I want to push this particular file into my remote repository. Okay, I'm going a bit fast. If you let me know in case you want me to slow down. Shubhi, you are clear, right?
Yes, Bhaiya.
So I'll just copy paste this rather than typing it because it may take more time. So git remote add origin is nothing but this is a standard command. What I'm saying is git is a git again. Remote means I'm telling there is one option called remote keyword in git, and there I'm telling to add origin. Okay, origin is nothing but my and destination repository link. This must and should be git ka link, or it can be altasin ka git, right? So now what we'll do, I'll just copy this command. I can execute all commands at once, but if I do step by step, that will be clear to you guys. Okay. Now I have successfully added this particular git to my remote repository. Now there is another command called git remote -v. Okay, this will say what is that origin that I'm set, right? So if I push something, I'll tell what is pushed and fetch. If I push something, that content will go and sit in remote repository here. Okay, which will happen if I execute this last command, right? And if I want to pull something, let's suppose I have done my bit of work. Now Vignesh wants to pull that particular code. He needs to execute pull command. In that case, this is the repository. If you see, both are same. Push and pull is targeted to same repository. Why these are segregated? There are enterprise level projects. I'll be writing, pushing into some repository, but I'll be reading from some other repository. उस सारे cases में अलग-अलग repository map करने के लिए these are segregated into two different things. Okay, I can explicitly set what is my push origin and what is my pull origin, but I have executed generic command, which means it is tagged to both repositories. Clear so far? Any doubt? I have a couple of doubts. Can I ask questions? Okay, at the end I'll ask. Okay, now what will you do? I'll execute the second command. Yes, Shubhi.
One doubt. This git remote -v, if we do, we can fetch and push both at the same time.
No, git remote -v is just for information purpose, which will say to which repository my git is connected to, right? Because I may tend to forget this link, right? What to which repository this may be connected, because we have 100 repositories. So this git remote -v will just give you information. What is your current pull URL and what is your current push URL? Repository.
Okay, so this will automatically let us know.
This anytime you execute this, no, just before I did this, I executed this command git remote add origin, right?
Right.
So this is the place when I added these two links. If I happen to be executing this command before this add remote add origin, that time it would have shown me null. In a sense, right. Because I did not configure it all. Now, first time I did this, later point in time, let's suppose if I change anything in this and I'm just showing you guys, like let's suppose some URL I'll update. Then after that, git remote will give us updated information, which is current remote repository that our git is targeted to.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, so it can happen that previously I pushed the git repository into some particular link, and then later on I changed it and pushed it into some other account.
Yes, absolutely possible.
So then it will give me the updated one, and previous one will go away, or it will be shown.
Think of it like this. There is a remote server. Okay. At any given point in time, your client git can connect only to one and only remote destination folder, right? Okay. So if you are connected to, let's suppose, utilitarian labs git session, it is connected to utilitarian labs, and if whatever changes you pull and push, you'll go and sit there. Okay. Right? Tomorrow, if you change this URL to some other remote, that means you are changing your pointer from utilitarian labs folder to some other folder. What all changes you do going forward will be tracked on that particular folder.
Okay.
Correct. No, now in this use case, let's suppose Vignesh is still working on utilitarian labs. Whatever changes he does, it will go and sit there and it will clone from there itself. Like push and pull will happen on this particular folder only.
Okay.
This is exactly similar to how we store our folders in our desktop. But only thing is we are executing things via commands. Okay. And the reason why I am explaining you guys in commands is developers should always be aware of how things work on under the hood, right? If you do not execute this command, there are certain tools which I have not installed because I don't use them. You can use those tools to commit, check in, check out, create branch, etc. Everything you can do that. Okay. What you should do is you should go to this marketplace, search for git plugin. Okay, so here I can say this one is very good. Git lens, this is something which I'll use. what this will do, if I open any particular Apex class in my machine, no, it will say me who committed that particular code into Git repository, what was the time, line by line it will show me. Okay. As of now, I have disabled this because I felt this is a bit, this will slow down a bit in this VS Code. But if you enable or install this kind of plugins, no, it will also tell me like this. I'm just typing it, but normally it will not be there. It will tell Akash commented this on so and so date, along with that comment ka hash, which I was showing a while ago here in this git log. This command is for git log. So along with this hash, it will show me. And if I click on that, it will take me to that hash. Okay. Before doing that, let me execute and deploy whatever you have done into remote server. Okay. Here you will see this particular folder, and you will see one file called 1.txt. Okay. To do that, I'll have to execute the second command, which is git branch master. Okay. We will talk about this branch and all in a while. Now, I am targeting to one branch. Okay. And what I'm saying to Git is, I want to push this particular folder, whatever is there as updated, -u is nothing but updated, into my one of the branches called master. Master is a standard branch. Okay, if everything looks good, you will see these kind of messages like whatever data we have created, and then it will go in the form of binary, right? It will convert into base 64 and then it will transfer. That is what it is showing here on analysis. And once it is done successfully, here is the remote target link. And if I go back to this repository and refresh, you will see one file here on master branch. This is what I was talking about branches. Okay. And here, if you go and open this 1.txt, I still have Akash. Till here, it was very simple concept. Now it will become more interesting. Okay. Now we will see the real feature of Git. I hope till here everyone is clear. And what time is it? It's already 35. Okay. So what we will do now? Let us talk a bit about this master and all, right? So now, what is branch? Okay. Now let me put an use case here. Let's suppose we are working on, I'll talk on a higher level. Okay. Let's suppose we are working on a feature. Okay. I have a Salesforce project. Here I have all those files, class, Apex, Visual Force page, whatever is metadata is there, everything is there on my left side. Let's assume like that. Okay. And I am working on a new feature. Okay. I have told Akash to build a VF page which has login. Okay, which is allowing me to enable some external user to be logged into Salesforce. I'm making up this use case for our understanding purpose, right? So now Akash will build that page, and to build this page, Akash have created a lot of other objects, fields, custom settings, etc., etc. So many metadata he have created, and he kind of merged. He kind of kept everything in master branch. Okay. Now let's suppose for some everything is cool. We have deployed this to production. Everyone is using this. Okay. Now tomorrow customer is asking for forward password feature. Now what I have done, I have told Vignesh there is a master branch in Git. Code from there, from your master branch, it will give up to date production code. Correct. That is how supposed to be used, right? Now I'll tell Vignesh there is a VF page which is created by Akash. Akash is busy in some other thing. You add a forward password feature to this particular page. Okay. Now what we'll do? Vignesh will add that forward password feature, and he'll push those changes to new branch, because he don't want to ruin Akash's code. It's already present in master branch, right? Because we are not yet tested this feature, it's not deployed into production. Now I have told Vignesh to maintain this particular changes in a new branch called forward password branch. Okay. Now for some reason, customer says, I don't want this particular feature, forward password feature. That is when I can ignore this branch. I can switch back to my master branch, right? Or else, let's suppose customer says, I want to use this branch. Then I can successfully test whatever changes is there on my feature branch, which is forward password branch. Once that is correct, and once this is completely tested, I can merge that particular code carefully to production. Now my Git has particular only one branch which is tagged to production with all the changes. Okay. I am making up this use case for you to understand from Salesforce terminology, but Git will differ based on different projects that we use. Okay. So now I'll show one feature of this. Now what we are doing, very simple. If I explain, this is one branch. Okay. Okay. This particular branch is called as master branch. Okay. Now complete Salesforce production code is there in this particular branch, right? Now, Akash is working on one feature, it will spawn a new branch. Vignesh is working on one feature, it will spawn a new branch. Dinesh is working on another feature, it will spawn a new branch. And each branch will have its own unique name. Okay, 1, 2, 3, something like this. Okay. Now, let's suppose I want to use only Dinesh branch and Akash and Vignesh branch are yet to be deleted. In that case, what I can do, I can completely use this branch. This branch, you can take it as this particular version of code. Okay. If I switch back to this code, a same VF page, you will see whatever code Dinesh has written. If I switch back to this particular branch, the same page, whatever Akash is using as of now, will be visible. That particular code will be visible in that particular VF page. Okay. Not only VF page, any file. And if I go switch back to this branch, I'll see Vignesh changes, right? So I can merge these particular branches individually to master branch. Okay. Doesn't have to be master always, but at least there has to be one branch in Git in order to make some commits or changes. So GitHub itself will give us one standard branch, which is called as master. Or naming convention itna hai. It's also similar to other branches, but master is called as standard branch, right? So now I'll showcase you guys how this works. Okay. So now what I have done, in which branch I am now currently? Master, right? Shubhi, you are following me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now how do I check in which branch I am? For that, git branch, a command execute karne, right? It will say master. Okay, now let's suppose this is the page, login page that Akash has built, and this hi Akash is nothing but code that Akash has written in order to render login page. Let us assume like that. Okay, now what we will do, now Vignesh has cloned this repository. Now assume like this, Vignesh's laptop, I mean Vignesh laptop now, right? Vignesh has cloned this repository. How? He executed, he went to git here. Okay, where is that repository? He went to this git here and he clicked on this code. I am seeing one folder and one file here, right? The same file what I have written and one commit is there, initial commit. Okay, and from here what he's done, he clicked on this URL. Otherwise, alternate option is download zip. This will completely download zip and give him, right? So I can use this URL. I can git clone and this paste this. If I do this, this will clone same repository again. Since I was the one who created this, I'm not executing this. Clear, Isha? Assume like this, Akash was the one who created this file. Akash pushed this particular file to repository, remote repository. Vignesh also has credentials of remote repository. Vignesh want to add some features to that particular file. He cloned that file by executing git clone and copying this URL. An alternate option would be to download this zip. Okay, but I would recommend this. This is an SSH command, HTTPS, right? And once you do this, when Vignesh clones this, by default, it will be connected to that repository. By default, that .git hidden file will be present in that particular dabba, in the sense folder. Clear so far? I am explaining from a bit this very basics. This and all is not required, but you guys should know all of this. If you call yourself as a developer, very simple. Okay. And after this session, no one will tell that I don't know it, I cannot take a paper, right? Okay. Now what will I do? Now Vignesh, I mean Vignesh's machine. Let me try to add forward password flow. Okay. So I'll say adding forward password code. So easy. Okay. Now Vignesh is adding this one line of code which will create forward password functionality for us, right? So here, if you see, there is one green line which says change tracking has been enabled here, right? So Git says that this is a new line. How VS Code is doing that? It is reading the .git folder and showing that. That extension is doing that work. Okay. If you have free time, you can build VS Code extension also. That and all you should think like that. Not like only Salesforce में मैं काम करूँगा, right? So VS Code कैसा कर रहा होगा? You सोचना पड़ेगा because open source में developer plugin बना के बेचते हैं. Even if it is not for money, developers help developers via developer community. That's how strong developer community should be. In our office also, if someone learns some new thing, he or she should explain it to everyone. Okay. Normally I don't get time, that's why I'll not involve in this, but yes, going forward we'll do that. So now Vignesh is adding one particular green line here, which is forward password. Assume that in code he has added those VF page controller effects methods, etc. Now I have told Vignesh not to put this code in master branch. I don't want Vignesh to override this particular feature. So what will I do? I'll ask Vignesh to create a new branch called forward_password. Why underscore? There should not be space. Very simple. Okay. In order to do that, what will I do? Git, I forgot command, I think, git branch -b forward. Command कर लो. If it is wrong, how will we do it? Create new branch. Correct na Shubham?
Yes, bro.
Hey Shubham, do Shubham either. Sorry Shubham, I was talking to another Shubham. See, I forgot this checkout. Now what I'm saying, git checkout minus b, and here I will give forward password. Okay. If I do this, it says switch to new branch. Okay, clear. I'll do clear. Now, even if I execute git branch command, it says I am in forward password, and here is an asterisk symbol which says I'm in forward password, right? So I'm not in master anymore. So now see a magic error. Okay. Now git status. There is one file which is modified. Here you can see that. Okay. Git add minus u. I don't have to do add, I think. But I am doing here different stuff here. What I'm doing, git add hyphen u, in the sense whatever files are already been tracking and whatever changes I have done, only add those modified files. In case if I had another file which was 2.txt, it wouldn't have added into this particular git tracking because I did not add it explicitly, right? I'm just adding hyphen u, which is tracking, already tracking file, which is modified. That's why we are seeing green line there. What will I do? Git add minus u. And as soon as I do that, this line will go here because this particular changes have been checkpointed now, right? So now I'll commit this. Commit. What will happen when I commit this? It will generate one unique hash. Okay, I'll say forward feature is added. This was the message given by Vignesh when he created this commit. Okay. Now, can I see this particular commit in remote? Shubham, don't answer. Shubham Kumar, don't answer. Akash, don't answer. Vignesh, don't answer. If I open this dabba here, or drop down, can I see that new branch here?
Yes.
Why?
Because you have created.
Where did I create?
Can you commit now?
Where did I commit? Did I push it?
No.
I committed only locally, no?
Okay.
Yes. Anyone else want to answer? Why it is not present in remote, except folks that I have mentioned? Anjali, Isha, Shiva, Tushar. Okay. चेकआउट से हमने नया ब्रांच बनाया एंड चेकआउट के बाद हमने नया वाले चीज को ऐड किया है उस ब्रांच पे एंड आल्सो कमिट किया हमने. इफ आई सी गिट स्टेटस हियर, git status, I see working pretty clean because there is nothing which is dirty, right? Dirty in the sense programming word में dirty कब बोलते हैं जब something is left untracked in the sense कुछ हमने commit नहीं किया, right ना? Now if I show you git log, it is already committed. I can see this particular comment also, whatever Ganesh has given, right? Forward feature is added, but I still don't see that particular thing here because I did not push it to remote, correct ना? Everything has been done, but it's only done in my particular local machine. मेरा laptop में हुआ है बस, correct ना? So what will I do now? I have a command to execute which is git push origin. This means I want to push whatever is there in my local machine to one particular branch. In this case, what I should use? So I want to push my forgot password branch changes to remote. And since this forgot password branch is not present in remote, Git is going to create that branch with updated contents, right? So if I execute this, if everything goes right, I'll see this particular file tracked in this Git. Okay. So now you can see this particular branch mentioned over here. Okay. So forgot password, if I go and if I open this file, I see Vignesh's forgot password ka code here. Code in the sense one text as of now, right? Similarly, if I switch this branch to master, what you guys should see?
Same code.
Do you see the second line here?
No.
No, right? Are we on same page to be?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Right. So I have committed something to this particular branch, but I did not choose to merge it to my actual branch. That's the reason why I don't see that particular line of code here. If I switch to here, okay, I only see still hi Akash. Same thing happens. See my 1.txt. I am in forgot password branch currently. What will I do? I'll check out to master branch. Okay. In that case, same command, but I'll not put -b because I don't want to create new branch. What will I do? I'll just switch to master again. Now see, second line got vanished. Okay. And if you see, here is a message which is saying you committed 23 minutes ago. This is when we had started our session, I suppose, right? So this is when I made initial commitment. Okay. And this is again coming out of this plugin supercharged. And here, if I click on this, it will take me to this particular hash. Okay. And we have a lot of other cool features in Git, which is this. See this? I can click on this. Okay. I can switch branches here, and I can also see what was the line added by Vignesh. I can see merge conflicts. I can even compare code. I can add comment. I can say here, hi Akash. I am doing it in the company repository. No, I'm able to pull Akash here. Okay. Hi Akash. Please add another feature called login with FB. Okay. So when I do this, like this, we can easily collaborate in Git, but we are not doing it as of now. Correct? No. So these are all features we can use. I don't have to go Akash and tell is class me ye kar do. I can easily do everything here. And if we not now, like down the line, 1 or 2 months, we will plan what all projects we feel that we are in difficult phase for deployment. For example, tomorrow, let's suppose we get a big project like banking project. Usme 15-20 लोगों का काम लगता है. And we cannot go ahead and create those many change sets or Salesforce वो उड़ जाएगा. In that case, we need to put some CI/CDs in place. CI/CD का मतलब क्या है? Continuous development and continuous integration. Git में आप चेक इन करो, वो सीधा Apex क्लास और कोड जो भी आप चेक इन कर रहे हैं प्रोडक्शन या फिर सैंडबॉक्स या फिर जो भी सैंडबॉक्स हम लोग कॉन्फ़िगर करेंगे उसमें डिप्लॉय हो जाएगा. And also all of our developers will get an email. In case आपका कोड फट रहा है, चेंज सेट एरर आ रहा है, everything will get an email. This kind of automation we can build in. As of now, it's not necessary because again, हम process लाएगा तो time consuming है. That's why I'm not introducing those things, right? So any enterprise level projects like if we have 10 developers, let's suppose, we cannot manage that using change set. We cannot manage without Git at all. Correct ना? एक ऑब्जेक्ट पे अगर 10 लोग काम कर रहे हैं, then obviously flow trigger बहुत सारी चीजें रहेंगे. And in Salesforce now we have that level of control where I can pull each and every metadata from Salesforce, right? I can even pull what is flow ka execution criteria also. Those things can be tracked here. When I track it here, that can be deployed to Salesforce. This is again advanced level of topic, but we'll not discuss it now, right? So at max, what you guys will be doing day to day is this. That's all, right? So we'll cover 2-3 other concepts. If you guys have time, I am at least free for next 15 minutes at least. Let me continue in that case. I hope till here everyone is clear, right? So now let's suppose that future branch what Vignesh was working is perfectly fine, and we want to merge that particular branch and deploy the same to production. Okay, don't worry about Salesforce ka production. Worry about only Git as of now. There are 2 different branches in my system. In the sense tracked by Git. One is master, second one is forgot password. In forgot password, I have one level of additional version of code which I want to merge back to master, right? In order to do that, I need to execute one very simple command, which is now I'm there in master here. Okay. Once I merge my master with forgot password, if there are no merge conflicts, I'll tell you when merge conflicts will occur after this explanation. You will see one more line of code which is added by Vignesh here, and which is code merged between these 2 branches, right? Now I'm talking about only one file. There will be hundreds or thousands of files there. Everything will be done in the same manner if it is being tagged by Git, right? So what will I do? I'll do git merge. Okay, what I remember is maybe source branch should be on left, master, and forgot password. I think I've done it right. Okay, so it says there are 3 lines of changes that we have done. One extra line is showing because of some additional space here maybe. And what we have done is we have removed one line and added 2 different lines. Okay, and it merged successfully because there was no merge conflict also. Okay, now if you see, this is my actual master branch. Okay, I have merged these 2 different things. Now if you do git status, it shows still clean. Now can you guys tell me, if I go to master branch here, will you guys see that? Dinesh, if I open this, will you see these 2 lines? I'm in master branch.
Yes.
Why?
Because you have changed my definition.
Who pushed it? I did not push it, no.
You just change the
Okay, I think when I was making change, Akash pushed it, right?
process.
Okay, so see, I have merged it, but it's there only in my laptop. Very simple. Okay, until unless I push something, it will not be remote. Next time I should not listen this wrong answer, because twice I have repeated that, right? So git status, if I do, it's okay if you go wrong, but at least you think why it's not happening, right? So what will I do? I'll say git push origin master. I am pushing master branch only now. Forgot password में change नहीं करना होता, right? So in master branch, what I have done, I have merged these 2 branches. ये आपको उधर भी दिखेगा जो मैं changes किया. आपको दिखाता हूँ branch कैसे merge हुआ था. ओरिजिन बोले तो आप दूसरे सेट करके रख सकते हो। एक रिमोट में आप ओरिजिन बोल रहे हो, लेट्स सपोज टुमारो आई हैव हीरो का रिपोजिटरी, देयर आल्सो आई कैन मेंटेन हीरो को एज वन ओरिजिन। स्टैंडर्ड नाम दिया हुआ है गिट ने ओरिजिन, यू कैन यूज व्हाटएवर यू वांट। मैं एक रिपोजिटरी को आई कैन कनेक्ट टू 10 डिफरेंट रिपोजिटरीज with different origin, and each origin will have push and pull URLs. Think of it like this, key value pair map is, right? So now I have pushed it. I'm seeing this particular line of code here. And now if you want to see what all things happened with this git repository, आप इस पे जाके history पे click कर सकते हो. There is a question, man. 2 commits. View all branches. Now the advantage of using Git was, now easily you can say on what particular date what kind of work we had done on this particular file. Okay, so now if you see, I have 2 commits here. Now since I am the same user I was doing, but in case if Vignesh had done this comment, you would have seen Vignesh ka name here, and same applies for Akash also. And here I have put one comment for Akash, that is also there. Okay, this is my comment ka hash. Here you can see actual source code of this particular version. आप 10 साल पहले कुछ काम किए होंगे, उसका कुछ वर्जन का कमेंट आपने याद रखा होगा, उस कमेंट पे गए तो वही कोड मिलेगा आपको. दैट लेवल ऑफ सिक्योरिटी एंड दैट लेवल ऑफ कोड का चेक पॉइंट एंड गिट ऑप्शन विल गिव अस, राइट? सो हियर एक और ऑप्शन था, मुझे मिल नहीं रहा है, मे बी दिस. यस शुभी.
Once we merge the field, the second field, that is forgot password, will it go, like, will it vanish, or it will be there separately if you want to make some changes to that particular branch only?
Good question, Shubhi. It will be there, right? See, now I'll show you that. What will I do? I'll switch back to our forgot password branch. Okay.
Okay.
But you will see same content because that was the updated content. Now what will I do? I'll show you like this. Okay.
So
now
every time
branch, right?
no, every time we need to switch the branches, we will write this git checkout comment.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
In case if you want to create a new branch, then you will have to specify -b, which is nothing but new branch.
New branch.
And you could give appropriate branch name there without spaces.
Okay.
Now just to show you, like, what will I do? I'm in master branch now, right? How will I come to know? Git branch.
Right.
I'm in master and forward password is still there. Okay. So in master, what will I do? I am adding second line of, actually should be 3, but I'm writing second because this was created from forward password, right? I am adding second line of code here. Okay. This particular thing is there in the master, and this is still untracked. Untracked in the sense this we haven't updated Git on this, right? We did not add any checkpoint to this. Now what will I do? I have just saved this file. Okay. Now I'll try to switch this particular branch to forward password. Okay. You still see this particular line here. Can someone try to answer why? Because this particular line of code, I did not say git to which branch this line of code belongs to. It still remains as is, and still it is a dirty data, right? So what will I do? Quickly, I'll switch back to master branch. Hope I'm not confusing you, Shubhi.
No.
I switched back to master branch. Still it is there because I did not add a comment. Now what will I do? I'll say git add -u because there is a modified file. Okay. Now this green line should go from here. This is being tracked by this particular line here. Okay. But I did not commit it yet. Okay. Now what will I do? I'll check out to forgot password branch again.
Okay.
Okay. You still see this line because I did not commit this, but this particular thing is added for git, but this particular line of code is not attached to any branch as of now. It is still open, but it is being added to git. Git stored this as a in its memory, right?
Okay.
But let me do one thing now. Let me switch back to master again. Okay. I'm trying to cover more use cases wherein you had asked me only very basic question. The reason I'm doing this is because if I do that again, I will not be able to show you these use cases, right? So I'm adding this particular thing to git, but this added particular line is not yet tagged to any of the branches. Okay. So in order to do that, I'll have to commit that, right?
Okay.
The same thing happens in our Salesforce transaction also.
Okay.
You make a lot of data changes in your code, trigger flows, etc. But something goes wrong and you did not put try catch there. Okay, because of which everything is rolled back. Okay, I need to attach it to someone, or else I need to commit it to some branch here in this case, right? So what will I do? Currently, I'm in Git master branch. I'm just cross validating it. I'm in master branch. Now I'll commit it, right? Because
Okay.
I have already added this particular changes to Git. I don't see any green line here, right? Now I'll give you adding new line of code. This is my comment. No, I can write anything. Okay. Now if I switch back to Git, that forgot password branch, what do we see, Shubhi?
Now we will be seeing there that line.
How many lines?
Like 2 only.
spelling mistake था क्या? सही बोला आपने. Okay, I think there was a spelling mistake. Previous command did not execute successfully. I'll just go back to that branch. But whatever you are understanding and our understanding is correct only. So I'm in master now. I'll re-execute our old this one. कहाँ गया? हाँ, इसमें मुझे m डालना था ना, मैंने गलत कमेंट दे दिया. So here I should have put -m, which is message, right? चला गया. Okay. Now it is successful. And if I go back to our forgot password branch, as you were telling it rightly, Shubhi, we should not see third line for sure, right? Now,
Okay.
if I merge master with forgot password, nothing will happen. If I merge forgot password with master, then that particular line will come here.
Okay.
Right, no? You can handle however you want. Master is not a special branch. The name itself says it was one default branch created by Git, because there has to be at least one branch to store or to add those checkpoints to one particular branch. We can do only one. We can add only to one particular branch, right?
Okay.
So now, if I merge this branch with master branch, then will I see third line there? I am supposed to see that, right? Two ways of doing merge. Okay, merge is a bit confusing. Try to understand it properly. Like git merge. Whatever I give on the left hand side will be my source branch. Okay, from right hand side it will put into left hand side. So here, if I give forgot password and do master, I should see third line here. It came here. But this change again should be explicitly added and committed to this particular branch. Otherwise, it's not going to be there in remote. Correct? Now, until and unless I push updated repository contents to remote, nothing will be there, right? So if I, let's suppose, say push git push origin, if I do only origin, okay, it's asking me default branch. So let me give branch name. Now I have pushed this particular branch. Okay, so if I go back to remote, go back to code, go back to this guy, where is this guy? So wait, forward password, open this particular branch. I do see 3 lines here. Okay, and I can get the raw code of this, or else I can see history when what all things have happened. First commit on this branch was the initial comment. If you want to see that version of code, you click on this particular hash and you'll see only that particular code. Only this was present initially. Okay, I can use, there are a lot of advanced commands. Whatever git we are discussing, it's not even 10%. जितना हम लोग गिट करेंगे नेक्स्ट 10 साल वो बस 10-20% का ही होगा, right? But actually if you see at any given point of time, I can switch back to this particular code base whenever I want by using the unique hash that is provided here. This is nothing but the same thing what I'm seeing here, git log. देखो, I am searching that particular thing and it's giving there. So same comment, initial comment. Okay, so tomorrow, let's suppose I say Vignesh, on November 10th of last year, there was one code which was working fine, but today it's not working. Please switch back to that. We have in Git. You can easily do that. Okay, very simple. Even if you don't know command, Google it and do it. बस concepts पता रहना चाहिए, right? Any doubts, guys? Is it too much to comprehend? Like, any doubts from you, Shubham or Shubhi?
Nothing as of now.
Okay.
Me,
So,
dear.
yes, Shubham.
No, are you asking me or another Shubh?
Oh, no, I was asking you, Shubham.
No, dear, nothing from my side.
Okay, cool. So, can we say this now? Can we expect all the projects that we are working on? For example, if Akash is working on something, no matter whosoever it is, can we expect all the repositories to be pushed into Salesforce, this one, right? For projects, in order to push those, what you should do, now let us this is more than enough, whatever you have learned so far, right? So this will give everything. इतना आपको बहुत है अभी काम करने के लिए. अभी थोड़ा बहुत Salesforce के बारे में डिस्कस करते हैं. Okay, for next 5 minutes, we'll see. Now I have this particular project. Yeah, this is already tracked, I think. I forgot to mention one more very important things, guys. Okay, let me just explain that also. There is one special file called git ignore. Okay, so we are only discussing about file, how files are maintained, how branches are maintained, and how file structures is being tracked by Git, right? But if you go in depth and try to understand what Git is, there will be a lot of debug files or unnecessary files that will be generated in your project base. This is very less frequent when you talk about Salesforce projects, but when you go to mobile or something, whenever we execute something, there will be debug folder. Even if you see here, no, all typings will be configured here. Husky and all, this and all are out of box. Okay, ये सारे फाइल्स जो भी है आपको अननेसेसरी है. आप कभी debug पुल करते हो, ये फाइल सब आके इस पे बैठ जाता है. Why do I need all of these files? I don't need these files, right? So this and all are TypeScript generated stuff which will be explicitly used on your LWC components. ये सारा unnecessary files है, and I don't want these files to be tracked because these are your project local project specific. These are not Salesforce project SFDS project का structure नहीं है सब. करेक्ट ना? हम Salesforce का प्रोजेक्ट स्ट्रक्चर को बोलते हैं SFDX. Okay. For that reason, Git has one special feature which says whatever files you don't want to track, you can add it under this particular ignore file, .git ignore. So if I show you this, बंद कर दिया क्या मैंने? Or because of this. Okay. So if I see this, okay, I don't have any git ignore file here. Okay, मैं आपको दिखा देता हूँ क्या होता है. So here, what will I do? I'll do vi.git. Okay, I have created one git ignore file. .swp is because it's in edit mode, right? So क्या करता हूँ मैं आपको कंफ्यूज नहीं करूंगा, मैं इसको सेव करके इधर ही करता हूँ. Okay? मैंने कुछ डाला नहीं इसलिए वो एरर सेव नहीं हुआ. So here I'll do git dot I should put, okay, because it's hidden file. Here I have created one file called git ignore. Okay, whatever folder path or whatever individual file names I mentioned here, those files will not be tracked by Git because these you should consider as unwanted files. For example, build का file हो गया, log का file हो गया, log.txt. Why do you want that in Git? Why do you want to space cloud resources, right? So unnecessary files you can ignore it here. In order to show you that, what will I do? I'll just create unwanted file.txt. Okay, I don't want this file to be tracked here. So what will I do? I'll just put this particular file name here, unwanted file.txt. Okay, now git status. It says git ignore is also a file. I should add this to git. Okay, git add. When I said git status, why did it not show me unwanted file there? Because I am telling it not to track that file at all, whatever worst case it is, right? So even if I try to see what is git status, it only shows me git ignore there, right? And my spelling is correct only thing. इसलिए वो दिखा रहा है git का icon here, right? Dot git ignore unwanted file. Now if I add this git and I created this dot git ignore file, this is not there in remote yet. If I push this, then only whenever Akash makes changes and Vignesh pull that, it will come in his ignore also, right? This is one special file only understood by Git. Git add -u git status add dot -u नहीं चलेगा ना, updated file थोड़ी है, नया file है. I'll have to add it explicitly. Okay, git status नहीं देखूंगा. Let me show it. Git push कौन सा branch है? Git checkout करता हूँ, master पे डाल देता हूँ, right? Checkout master git commit -m. मैसेज हमेशा अंडरस्टैंडेबल होना चाहिए. एडिंग इग्नोर फाइल पुश if I do this successfully, you go back here, refresh that particular directory, it will be there here also. And tomorrow whenever Vignesh or someone pulls in that repository, obviously .git ignore will be आएगा, वो भी आ जाएगा. And along with that, whatever is there in git ignore, it will start working in your local machine also, right? That's how things work. So you should understand from core level how things work. Otherwise it will be confusing for you guys also, because git is very confusing, to be honest. अगर आप सही से नहीं समझोगे, it's of no use. Okay, गलत कर दिया ना, कोई भी हैश उड़ा दिया फिर से नहीं मिलेगा. करेक्ट ना, आपने डिलीट कर दिया हैश, देयर इज एन ऑप्शन टू डिलीट हैश आल्सो. इफ आई डिलीट दैट, वो दिन का गया, मिलेगा नहीं, करेक्ट ना. So see, this unwanted file.txt is being contributed here, and here we have everything. Okay, and here there was another UI, maybe it will come on paid feature only, wherein I can see branch का वो flowchart आएगा मुझे. This is master, it has spawned here, spawned here. This kind of good features are there in Altasin का Bitbucket. Okay, those are paid versions of it. We don't need paid version of it as of now, but going forward we need to have that. Okay, हम लोग का भी एक version है where we track all of our company repositories in util labs here. Okay, कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट आपको चाहिए, you ask either myself, Akash, Vignesh, Kishan or Bhaskar, they'll create a repository for you guys. Otherwise I'll give permission to everyone. बस unnecessary data नहीं डालना, create project specific folders only and then track it there. Okay, I think Shubham also has access. You can ask Shubham also, he'll also create a repository and give. Okay, and here in this file I was about to explain one more topic, I forgot. Shiva, what I forgot, man? पता नहीं भैया, सर्दी हो गया मेरे को. Okay. This git to ignore is very good concept. Good that I bought in this point. The only reason why I was talking about git ignore was, if you talk about this Android का project, I'll show you guys. Okay, Android का file structure कैसा देखता है, इसे देख माहिल हो. आप कभी देखे नहीं होंगे, only Bhaskar and myself is aware. ना एक modern algo बोल के एक project था, right? So we have modern algo project. So here Git is such an intelligent tool. It is also giving you what kind of project it is. Here आपको मिल जाएगा what language is being used here, Java. 100% Java का code है. Okay, and here if you see, I don't have unnecessary files here. I have only project specific. अगर मैं ये वाला project if I clone in my machine and run this in Android Studio, सीधा run हो जाएगा, project आ जाएगा, right? Similarly, I have asked Bhaskar to create n number of branches, maybe like 500 or thousands of branches are there. Okay, because this much of development we have done. See this, we have put fixed recursion ka branch, everything Bhaskar and myself was tracking here. But initially I was working on this, later point in time only Bhaskar was a sole developer. See this, everything I can see here. One, what happened, मैं आपको पहला दिन का कोड दिखाऊंगा क्या हमने कमिट किया था. Okay, what all branches we have, what is tail branch, how pull requests work, right? I'll also explain you guys how pull requests work. We'll take next 5 minutes and close this session. Okay, इस पे आप देख सकते हो इधर मर्ज किए थे हमने, राइट? सो हियर आप क्लिक करोगे तो आपको पता चलेगा क्या क्या चीज मर्ज हुआ था, कोड कंपैरिजन एंड ऑल वी कैन सी. हाउ डू आई सी दैट? आई थिंक आई हैव टू क्लिक ऑन दिस. आपको ग्रीन रेड दिखेगा. सी दिस एंड ऑल चेंजेस बास्कर डिड. इधर फॉल्स किया उसने, एक कोड देख के सरप्राइज नहीं हुआ ना, दिस इज नॉट सेल्सफोर्स का कोड, दिस इज एंड्रॉइड का कोड. दिस एंड ऑल चेंजेस ही हैड डन, राइट? दिस इज दिस फ्लैग सीएस रिमोट. हु डिड दिस चेंज, व्हेन ही डिड? आई वांट Bhaskar to change this particular line of code. I'll go and add comment it. Sir, please ignore this comment. Otherwise, I will see that. Oh, Git और में थोड़ा सही से यूज करते हैं इसलिए. Okay, so I'll just put this comment. So this will fire a notification to Bhaskar. I can add smileys. Pure collaboration I can do here. Okay, I can delete this, hide, edit, code reply. Bhaskar can fix this and let me know. And there is one special feature which is called as pull request. आप लोग Stack Overflow में वगैरह बहुत बार देखे होंगे. What is pull request? Now, let's suppose I'm working in very huge banking project. Akash is our one of developer is working on that. Vignesh is one of our developer working on that. And I am maintaining master branch. And this branch is very special branch. If I do any changes with this branch, this will go and deploy to a production org, let's suppose. Okay. In that case, I want to review each and every piece that is going into my master branch, even a single line of code. Okay, ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट होते हैं, हम लोग नहीं करते, टाइम नहीं मिलता, लेकिन एक्चुअल में ऐसा होता है. In that case, what we'll do, whatever Akash does, master branch will be read only for Akash. Whatever Vignesh does, master branch will be read only for Vignesh also. No one can directly commit or push anything directly to master branch. Okay, that will be done or must be done only via pull requests. What does that pull request mean? Pull request in the sense, I have pulled in your repository, I have made some changes, these are my changes, I am raising a new pull request in the sense merge ka request hai, that's all. Okay, here I'll select master branch and here I'll select which branch I want to merge to. इसमें एक ही है इसलिए मैं दिखा नहीं पा रहा हूँ, right? So here let's suppose forgot password branch, I'll show you here on the bit. Repositories, git का workspace इधर ही बनाया था, this one. Okay, I can go to pull request, I can create new pull request. In the sense, Akash can create, Vignesh can create this pull request because Vignesh is the one who's adding additional feature here. Okay. Vignesh wants to merge forgot password, which is there on left. There is an arrow symbol here. He wants to merge this to master. Okay. ये आपको मैं quickly बना के दिखाता हूँ. Rather than showing it like this, what will I do? Git status, git branch, git checkout, forgot password, and add this feature to master branch. I should use so that to make more sense, because Akash is the one who built login page, Vignesh is the one who built forward password, and I am the one who is tracking this page. So what will I do? Vignesh is doing git status. Status git add minus u. इसमें unwanted file नीचे दिख रहा है because I'm in different branch and इस branch में git ignore नहीं है. Very simple, right? So don't get confused. Git commit -m adding new feature. Okay. Git push origin forward password. And don't get surprised. The very first time you configure your VS Code with Git and all, it will ask you password. Username password को डालना होता है, right? Without security नहीं चलेगा. अभी if I refresh this page, I have created a new pull request which was already created before, right? How did I do that? I'll go to pull requests. There is Git automatically will give an option to you, but just to show you guys, I'm creating it from scratch. New pull request here on the right hand side. I'll have to select forward password, same as I mentioned in my this command. Okay, and here master is there. This time it shows there are 2 addition lines. It's showing here one removed and added, but it's nothing but same because I must have done some back जाके next line click किया होगा, right? So here I see these changes. Now Vignesh is raising a pull request. He wants me to merge these changes to master branch because master is read only branch, right? Here what we will do, Vignesh will create like this forgot password to master, and just assume like this, Akash had a separate branch called login branch. He had done this activity before, because of which Akash's code is there in master branch, right? So now as a Vignesh, what I'm doing, I am creating this pull request. Here I can change whatever I want. By default, this is the comment that I had given here, right? I must have given some spelling mistake, adding new feature. I don't know what is this, right? So here ye wala aa gaya. And Vignesh can also leave a comment. I have added feature and unit tested. Please review and merge. Whatever you want, you can comment it here, right? Now he can create this pull request. Before that, he'll have to also see assign this. Who is assigned? This is Vignesh, assignee. He is the one who is working on this. And reviewers, he can choose anyone who is there in our organization, right? I can search for Akash, anyone it is, because I am not able to search because it's my user only. Here, let me search for Awan. Okay, let him get a notification. And now I'll click on create pull request. And by default, I'll have to click this on my name. Okay, this is my name. I'll create this pull request. Awan will get an email notification, and also Awan can come and review this. Okay, here it will show everything related to this particular merge branch, and here it will also show me if there are any merge conflicts. Merge conflicts we will discuss in next session. It's a very basic thing. It will happen if both the users try to change same line of code. अगर आकाश ने भी थर्ड लाइन पे कुछ चेंज किए and विघ्नेश ने भी थर्ड लाइन पे कुछ चेंज किए, then obviously it's a merge conflict. Git will not come to know which line I should use. आकाश का फिर this one that has to be resolved manually. उसमें ऑप्शन नहीं है. कुछ ऐसा बना के देगा वो, कैसे ऐसा कुछ करके देता है ऐसे. वो बोलेगा ये विघ्नेश का कोड है. This is Git का यूजर नेम, right? And here it will put not this kind of line, and here it will say ऐसे 2 लाइन्स रहते मेरे पास, राइट? सो लाइक दिस वन ऐसा रहेगा. देन आई शुड सी ओके मुझे ये वाला कोड नहीं चाहिए, आई वांट दैट वन, एंड हाँ ये मैं निकाल दूंगा. देन ये भी हटाना है मुझे, एंड देन आई शुड मेक श्योर माय कोड इज राइट, करेक्ट ना? अगर मैं एपेक्स दिख रहा हूं तो एपेक्स में रहना चाहिए, जावास्क्रिप्ट तो जावास्क्रिप्ट, whatever it is, it should be in that particular language, right? Then I'll fix and commit it. That's all. Now this pull request, once I do this merge pull, ये मेरे को बटन दिख रहा है because मैं admin हूँ. Okay. Now as a approver, now I'm there as an Awan. Okay, assume myself as an Awan now. Now I can go and see when this branch was created, what time it was pushed, what kind of codes are there, what was the commit message. Okay, what was the code base in that case. I can do this also, and I can also see what is the files that are changed here, right? Everything I can do here. And one more cool feature I'll tell you guys. Whenever I click on this merge, I'll tell that cool feature after this. This is not a cool feature. Okay, मैं confirm कर दिया. Then merge has been successful now. Now what Akash and Akash and Vignesh should do, they should pull master branch in their code base so that whatever changes are there in master should come there. अभी मैं आपको वो चीज दिखाता हूँ. रिमोट पे क्या हो गया अभी, जो मैं लोकली अब तक कर रहा था ना मर्ज, वो रिमोटली कर दिया मैंने इस बार, बस आपको डिफरेंशिएशन दिखाने के लिए, राइट. So if you see in master branch, I have git ignore, I have 1.txt, and I'm seeing everything up to date here. Prithvi add this feature to master branch, which I have added. Why I'm seeing 4 minutes ago, even though I have done it now, this is committed time, not remote का time, local time है. अगर मैं आज commit किया, push नहीं किया, 2 दिन बाद push किया, तो 2 days ago दिखाएगा. Don't get confused. Okay. I hope all of you are following me. सारा फीचर मुझे अब से मैं आपसे पूछूंगा, अच्छा है ना मेरे लिए भी. Okay. Then what will I do? Now if I go back to master branch, अभी मैं किस branch पे हूँ? Yes. How will I see it? Git ये कर दूंगा. हाँ, ये आपको VS Code में इधर भी दिखता है. Okay, but टर्मिनल पे नहीं दिखता, इसलिए मैं इधर आपको फोकस कर रहा हूँ. Right? Good that you guys are aware that this is also possible. इधर आप कुछ सब कुछ कर सकते हो इस पे. देखो जो भी कमेंट है ना, इधर क्लिक करूंगा तो एग्जीक्यूट होगा, सेम चीज. But don't do that. Always follow this. Now I'm in master branch. So sorry, forgot password branch. Forward password branch में आप देखो इधर git ignore हाइफन दिख रहा है. That means this file is not present here. मैंने ओपन करके रखा था, लेकिन वो फाइल इस वाले ब्रांच पे नहीं है फॉरवर्ड पासवर्ड में, इसलिए वो ऐसा डिलीटेड दिखा रहा है. मुझे कुछ चेंज करने में नहीं देगा. ओके, इफ आई स्विच बैक टू मास्टर, गिट चेकआउट, हाउ विल आई डू दैट? गिट चेकआउट मास्टर, राइट. नाउ दिस इग्नोर फाइल स्ट्राइक वेंट ऑफ बिकॉज दिस फाइल इज देयर इन मास्टर. एंड ये वाला फाइल में देखो जो लास्ट लाइन नहीं रहेगा अभी, जो विग्नेश ने लिखा था, बिकॉज आई डिड नॉट पुल दोस चेंजेस फ्रॉम रिमोट टू लोकल. ये मर्ज मैंने रिमोट पे किया था, राइट. सो हाउ विल आई डू दैट? गिट पुल origin, see, fourth line came in. Okay, and it is up to date now. समझ में आ गया नहीं? पहले टाइम देखोगे, बस कॉन्सेप्ट समझो क्या क्या पॉसिबल है, क्या क्या नहीं है. ग्रैन्युलर लेवल डिटेल्स, हाउ टू डू दोस विल बी क्लियर इफ एंड ओनली इफ यू गाइस पुट इन लॉट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस. करेक्ट ना? ऐसा मैं ये 8 साल से करते आ रहा हूँ, दैट्स व्हाई आई एम डूइंग लाइक दिस. तो आप लोग को टाइम डालना है, देन ओनली विल बी एबल टू डू दैट. ओके, बट हियर एंड देयर इफ यू गेट स्टक, कोलैबोरेट इंडिविजुअली. आप इनको पूछो, ये इनको पूछो. वर्स्ट केस किसी को नहीं समझ में आ रहा, कम टू मी, राइट. एनी डाउट्स गाइस? आप पुल रिक्वेस्ट समझ गए, आप ब्रांचेस समझ गए, आप गिट क्या होता है समझ गए, डॉट गिट फोल्डर क्या होता है समझ गए. एंड इफ यू वांट, इफ यू गाइस हैव 5 more minutes, आई कैन गिव यू मोर डिटेल्स. इफ इट इज टू मच फॉर यू टू डाइजेस्ट, देन लेट मी नो. मैंने पीपीटी कैसे उठाया था, मस्त एक बार ब्राउज़र करा दिया ना, आप उसको रेफरेंस यूज कर सकते हो. ईशा, आपको समझ में आ गया? आज टाइम मिल गया तो थोड़ा ज्यादा ही कर देंगे आज, राइट. 2 दिन से पूछ रहे थे, इतना गिट सिखा दूंगा, कल से बोलेंगे गिट नहीं चाहिए. Okay, so this particular thing was created by this person. Okay, that's how he looks. 2005 में इन्वेंट किया था, so and so blah blah. Let us ignore this. Okay, ये ऑफिशियल डॉक्यूमेंटेशन आपको ब्रोज थ्रू करवा रहा हूँ मैं. अब तक जो भी मेरे को पता था मैंने नॉलेज शेयर कर दिया. दिस इज व्हाट इज ऑफिशियल डॉक्यूमेंटेशन, राइट. हाउ डू वी इंस्टॉल, एवरीथिंग इज देयर इन दिस. आई विल शेयर दिस डॉक्यूमेंट विद ऑल ऑफ यू गाइस. हम लोग एक पब्लिक रिपो रखेंगे जिसमें ये सारा डॉक्यूमेंटेशन डालेंगे. यू गाइस कैन रेफर इट फ्रॉम देयर. ओके, हाउ डू यू सी व्हाट आर ऑल डिफरेंट अवेलेबल commands. Okay, you can execute that git help. Not only in git, whatever tool you install, आप उसमें सब help देख सकते हो. Okay, help पर कुछ बोल रहा है क्या इसको कर? हाँ, मे भी पुराना डॉक्यूमेंट होगा. git hyphen help करा तो आ जाएगा कंट्रोल से. git hyphen help सब कुछ होता है. देखो ये सब पता देगा मुझे. वर्जन में वर्जन देगा, all of these things, right. Then sorry, this is syntax is telling. Okay, git, इसमें आप वो हेल्प की जगह यू कैन पुट ऑल ऑफ दोस कमेंट्स हियर. ओके, see this, what is it telling? There will be one central repository. Okay, and this repository will have all the branches and whatever you do. Okay, version of database. This is our remote repository folder and these are our individual machines. ये मैं आकाश को बोल रहा था, ये विग्नेश बोल रहा था. This is remote server. Okay, here आपको पढ़ने के लिए easy है. This will help you guys to revise what we discussed, but most of the things we already covered, right. ये देखो आप सब लोग चेकआउट्स वगैरह कर सकते हो. Same thing is there here, and here You can do computer A, computer B. Vignesh can himself maintain 10 different branches. Vignesh को समझो अपने कोड को सही से करने के लिए to make sure he is following his own best practices, वो 1000 ब्रांच बना सकते हैं अपने सिस्टम में, but he'll only push only one branch to remote. That also can be possible. आपको कैसे चाहे पीछे यूज करो, right? If you want to know what are best practices, let me know. हम डिस्कस कर लेंगे. But see, Vignesh is maintaining 3, Akash is maintaining 3. Here we are maintaining only 3, right? In total, there in this use case, it's telling these are mapped like this. Version 3 is mapped with this, 2 is this, Vignesh with this. But Vignesh can have 10 different branches and only one he can push there, right? ये वाला ब्रांच ऐसा ऐसा होता है बता रहे हैं. ओके, चेक-इन्स ओवर टाइम, सब वर्जन चेक-इन्स ओवर टाइम, ये अभी सेम चीज हम डिस्कस किया. ओके, बस मैं आपको हाई लेवल पे ब्राउज करवा रहा हूँ. ओके, वर्किंग डायरेक्टरी, स्टेजिंग एरिया, रिमोट रिपोजिटरी, राइट? स्टेज फाइल्स करने पे, कमिट करने पे स्टेजिंग एरिया में आता है, कमिट पुश करने पे इधर जाता है. ओके, स्टेजिंग एरिया इज द क्या बोलते हैं उसको यार, वर्चुअल एरिया आप बोल सकते हो. आपको देख नहीं सकते उसको, लेकिन आपका फाइल सारे स्टेज होता है डॉट गिट अंडर वो फोल्डर के अंदर, जो भी उनका सारा सॉफ्टवेयर है सब उसी में चलता है, राइट? लाइफ साइकिल ऑफ दिस वन, मॉडिफाई, स्टेज, कमिट. ओके, मॉडिफाई मींस वो जो हमारा ग्रीन दिख रहा था, स्टेज मींस वंस आई एड इट विल बी स्टेज्ड, कमिट मींस वो हैश जनरेट होता है. सेम थिंग इज देयर इन दिस डॉक्यूमेंट. ओके, ये देखो चेकसम वगैरह क्यों आता है, ये सब इन डिटेल है, इतना सब आपको जानने की जरूरत नहीं है. बट इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड यू कैन एक्सप्लोर दिस, राइट? हैश आपका 40 कैरेक्टर का स्ट्रिंग होता है एंड ईच हैश इज कंसिडर्ड एज यूनिक पासवर्ड. ये हैश यूज करके मैं कोई भी कमिट कभी भी चेक इन कर सकता हूँ. आप IGSTC में पहले दिन क्या किए थे मैं उधर चेक इन कर सकता हूँ. पूरा सेल्सफोर्स का फोल्डर उसी तरह के बनेगा, उसको उठा के सैंडबॉक्स में डालो, पहले दिन का काम आके उधर बैठेगा. उस लेवल ऑफ इंटेलिजेंस आप काम कर सकते हो, राइट? सेम थिंग, दीस आर डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कॉन्फ़िगरेशंस. आप गिटअप का यूजर नेम रख सकते हो, बक्स बनी इधर रख दिया आपने तो यही नाम आएगा गिट में जब डिप्लॉय करते हो, पुश करते हो चेंजेस. यू कैन ऑल्सो चेंज योर ईमेल आईडी एंड यू कैन ऑल्सो मेंटेन योर ओन एडिटर ऑल्सो. नैनो चाहिए क्या चाहिए, लिनक्स ओएस अगर है तो आपको विंडोज को जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा, राइट? कमिट हमने देख लिया, गिट ऐड फाइल नेम देखा मैंने, गिट इनिट हमने देख लिया, राइट? ऐड डॉट कर दिया तो सारे फाइल्स डालेगा. इंडिविजुअल फाइल नेम भी दे सकता हूँ. इन आर केस आई वाज गिविंग 1.txt. सिमिलरली क्लोन करने का भी हमने देख लिया. काइंड ऑफ हमने सारा आपको काम करने के लिए जो जो चाहिए कर दिया. इसमें सारे कमेंट्स है, कौन कौन सा क्या करता है, आपको कोई नोट करने की जरूरत नहीं है, राइट? हमने लॉग देख लिया, मर्ज देख लिया, चेकआउट देख लिया, ब्रांच देख लिया, रीसेट एंड ऑल नॉट रिक्वायर्ड, एडवांस्ड है. इनिट देख लिया, टैग इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड अगेन. ओके, टैग बोले तो कीवर्ड टैग कर सकते हो, जैसे इंस्टाग्राम में वो हैश होता है वैसे. अगर आकाश एंड विघ्नेश इज टैगिंग सेम टैग्स, फॉर एग्जांपल लॉगिन इज फेसबुक इज नॉट वर्किंग, वो टैग से मैं पूरा कोड बेस का 10 प्रोजेक्ट में वन शॉट में ढूंढ सकता हूँ. दैट काइंड ऑफ फीचर्स देयर ऑन टैग, राइट? एंड हियर इसे एग्जांपल दे रहा है, क्लास बनाया है हेलो ऐड गुड, ये दोनों फाइल्स ऐड कर सकते हो आप स्पेस छोड़ के, राइट? सो ये सारा आपको इस फाइल से पता चल जाएगा. हेड क्या होता है, चेकआउट क्या होता है, रीसेट क्या होता है. ओके, ये सारा थोड़ा एडवांस टॉपिक्स है, ये आपको अभी जरूरत नहीं है टू बी ऑनेस्ट. ये हम सब लोग थोड़ा आप हैंड्स ऑन कर लेंगे बेसिक्स पे, तब डिस्कस करेंगे. ओके, वर्चुअली आप ब्रांचेस को स्विच कर सकते हो. इस ब्रांच का मुझे चेंजेस उधर छोड़ के उसका मैं वर्चुअल हेड चेंज करके ऐड बना सकता हूँ. इसलिए बोला मैंने हम बस 10% का गिट देख रहे हैं, इवन इफ इट इज 100%. डिफ हमको डिफ देगा, 2 फाइल में क्या चेंजेस है वो सब आप यूज कर सकते हो. डिफ कैश्ड बोले तो इट विल गिव ओनली दैट थिंग दैट इज प्रेजेंट इन योर लैपटॉप, नॉट इन रिमोट. ओके, वो सारा चीज आप कर सकते हो, राइट? गिट लॉग हमने देख लिया, ये सब देता है. गिट लॉग अगर आप ऑनलाइन किए ना, समझो मेरे पास 2 कमिट है, विघ्नेश ने किया 2 कमिट ओनली, बट आकाश डिड 10 कमिट्स इन रिमोट. मैंने हाइफन ऑनलाइन डाल दिया ना, वो 10 + 2 12 मिलके 12 दिखाएगा मुझे, राइट? सो दिस एंड ऑल इज देयर. ये सब आप एक्सप्लोर करना, ये डॉक्यूमेंट मैं आपसे शेयर करूंगा. ये देखो मैं आपको दिखा रहा था ना कुछ मर्ज कॉन्फ्लिक्ट कैसा आता है, ऐसा आता है, राइट? इक्वल टू होता है, ये होता है. हियर इट सेज ऑन हेड ब्रांच index.html, ये वाला कोड है. बट इन ब्रांच 2 वर्जन ऑफ कोड ये वाला कोड है. व्हेन वी मर्ज दिस आई एम फाइंडिंग दिस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, प्लीज रिजॉल्व इट मैनुअली. सो व्हाट इज सेइंग, राइट? सो मैनुअली आपको जाके इसको हटाना है, इसको हटाना है. ये डिव सेम ही है ना, आईडी फुटर है इसका, तो मुझे इधर ये रखना है फिर ये रखना है. दैट ऑब्वियसली डेवलपर विल बी नोइंग क्या करेक्ट फीचर है हमारा, राइट? पुश है, पुल है, एंड देन वी हैव ओरिजिन मास्टर जो हमने देखा था वही सेम चीज है. ओके, github.com आप ऐसा फ्री रिसोर्स यूज कर सकते हो इन ऑर्डर टू डू दिस. बट सी दिस, अनदर गाय इज टेलिंग, डू आई आल्सो हैव टू यूज गिटहब टू यूज गिट? नो. अगर आपको गिटहब रिमोट यूज नहीं करना है, आप बस गिट का फीचर जानो, लोकली मेंटेन कर सकते हो. आपको अगर करना है क्या, वीक का पूरा ट्रैक करना है, मुझे मंडे मैंने क्या किया था इस क्लास में चेंज, ट्यूसडे क्या किया था, वेडनेसडे क्या किया था, ऑल दैट थिंग कैन बी डन. व्हाट एल्स? दिनेश की छोड़ा क्या मैंने, सब कवर हो गया ना? यस. एनी क्वेश्चंस गाइस? एनी क्वेश्चन शुभी और शुभम?
No way.
Okay, So I think I'm good with today's session. What we will do as a next action, आप लोग एक एक अपने खुद के गिट में आप अकाउंट बना लो पहले. ओके, सब लोग का गिट का अकाउंट रहना चाहिए बाय टुमारो. एंड इसमें आप अपने खुद का रिपोजिटरी बना लो. राइट, फॉर एग्जांपल आई एम इन यूटिलिटेरियन लैब्स बिकॉज दिस इज कंपनी का रिपो. व्हाट विल आई डू, आई विल स्विच बैक टू माय ओन पर्सनल प्रोफाइल नाउ. आप अपने गिटहब का प्रोफाइल भी तगड़ा रख सकते हो. ओके, आपके गिटहब देखो, मेरा गिटहब का प्रोफाइल है, बहुत पुराना था, मैंने ऐसे ही किया था, पता नहीं क्या है ये. अबाउट मी है पूरा, मैंने ऐसे रखा है. इसमें एक रीडमी फाइल बनता है. राइट, सो आई हैव पुट देयर व्हाट ऑल थिंग्स आई नो. ये मैंने बहुत पहले अपडेट किया था जब मेरे को जॉब ढूंढना था शायद. राइट, सो दिस एंड ऑल आई हैड पुट. ओके, कोड के स्टाइल में वो दिखा रहा है. सो आपके रिपोजिटरीज इधर होता है. राइट, in this repositories you can create your own folder and start working on that for your learning purpose. I'm telling, right? So this and all are different projects. इसमें अगर आप अच्छे कुछ लाइब्रेरी बिल्ड किए कर, let's suppose not in Salesforce, something else, okay, आप एक नोड का लाइब्रेरी बना दिए, you can expose that to public developer community and they can also collaborate to you with your this one. Okay, मैं वो सब डिटेल्स में नहीं दिखाऊंगा आपको बिकॉज इट डजंट मेक सेंस. बट यस, आप पब्लिकली देखो, ये डायनेमिक टेबल LWC है ना, मैंने पब्लिकली बना के रखा था. सो दैट ये वाला एक LWC कंपोनेंट है अपना, वेयर यू कैन पास डायनेमिक कॉलम्स दैट यू वांट टू सी, डायनेमिक रोज दैट यू वांट टू सी. अगर मुझे अकाउंट में बस 2 कॉलम दिखाना है, मुझे बस कस्टम सेटिंग में चेंज करना है, वो डायनेमिक 2 कॉलम आएगा अलॉन्ग विद पेरेंट फील्ड डॉट डॉट बोल के. तो ऐसे मैंने एक यूज केस बनाया था. आई एम गिविंग दिस पर्टिकुलर रिपोजिटरी एज पब्लिक सो दैट एनी डेवलपर टुमारो इफ ही सर्चेस इन गिट गूगल में, वो उनको कोड मिल जाएगा ये सब. ओके, एंड यू कैन ऑल्सो मेंटेन योर ओन प्रोफाइल इन गिट, जिसपे आप लोग दूसरों को हेल्प कर सकते हो. उनके पुल रिक्वेस्ट होते हैं, जैसे कि लिनक्स का ओएस का आपको कोड बेस मिलेगा पूरा गिट में. लिनक्स कोड बेस. ओके, आपको खुद का वर्जन का अगर ओएस बनाना है ना, तो आप इधर से क्लोन कर सकते हो. दिस इज कंप्लीट कोड ऑफ लिनक्स. अंजलि, आपको बनाना है ओएस, सी में लिखना है कोड. ओके, तो ये बोल रहा हूँ मैं, यू कैन ऑल्सो क्रिएट योर ओन पब्लिक रिपोजिटरीज, रीयूजेबल कंपोनेंट्स, लेट इट बी ऑन सेल्सफोर्स इटसेल्फ, बट यू कैन एक्सपोज दैट टू डेवलपर कम्युनिटी. आप ऐसे कम्युनिटी स्किल्स भी बिल्ड कर सकते हो. राइट, वो सब बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है और बहुत मायने रखता है सेल्सफोर्स के वर्ड में, नॉट ओनली इन सेल्सफोर्स, इन ऑल डेवलपर कम्युनिटी. एनी डाउट्स गाइस? तुषार, शिवा, ऑफलाइन शुभम, एनी डाउट्स? काजल, आपको, विघ्नेश, आकाश, नो डाउट्स राइट? ठीक है गाइस, आई थिंक देन वी कैन डिस्पर्स. थैंक यू वेरी मच. थैंक यू शुभी. आपको कुछ डाउट्स नहीं है ना शुभी एंड शुभम?
No, Bea. Thank you so much.
ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच.